Good morning. It's been 2 weeks pretty much since the last video that I've done and the last time that I've actually opened up the hive and looked in it. So I'm really excited to look inside with you today and see all the changes, because the last time I was in, I added a second hive called a second deep on top so that the bees had more room to move up and lay more eggs and start to build out more foundation and hopefully fill it with honey so that they have food to go through the winter. So let's go take a check and see what we find. Okay, just another little tidbit of information before I move on to the hive area. I've been gone for 2 weeks and I filled the top feeder with feed, which was the liquid sugar water, and it's probably empty. I've let it go so that they are just doing what bees do in nature, and they're just having to forage and scavenger for the nectar and the pollen all on their own. So I'm presuming that when I lift the top cover off the hive that we're going to see it empty. And then hopefully when I lift the top feeder off, we're going to see frames that have been what we call drawn out with honeycomb, and then hopefully we'll get to see some honey inside, maybe some capped honey, maybe some babies or capped brood. So let's go take a look. It is a really cool morning. I've been watching the bees this morning, and I will say they have been really calm, slow to come in and out of the hive. I think some of it has to do with the nice cool temperature. I'm not wearing my gloves at the moment. I'm just gonna let you take a look. I don't know if you see the bees coming in and out with pollen. I've had a lot of fun the last few mornings watching them. The bees coming in and out with all that pollen on them are a really good sign that things are going really well inside the hive. Alright, so I'm going to sign off and start a new video because it's going to change the angle of the camera. Or, let me see if I can do this. I might lose you. Alright. Looks like it worked. Hopefully the phone won't flip off while recording. I'm going to put my gloves on and get ready to look inside. I'm really hopeful for a lot of change in positive ways. The bees are so calm right now. I'm not going to lift off the second lid. Okay, and as I suspected, the inside right here is empty. There are some dead sugar ants. I can actually see sugar crystals. I'm going to take pictures with my other phone and see what I can get to come out with this. So there are dead bees inside, just a couple, not a ton, thankfully. And trying to do this with rubber gloves, like I've said before. I should have had my phone ready. Okay. So it's really interesting to see how the sugar crystals dehydrated and are just chilling. The bees, there are some bees inside, I can tell, but it's not like it usually is full of bees. Now it is full of dead sugar ants, or just sugar ants, that's for sure. Now this is probably not going to lift off. I'm going to need my hive tool because the bees do what they do best, and they seal. You hear that little pop, that little propolis around, and I can hear some sizzling underneath. So I'm going to get my, Oh wow. Now I can do this because there's not any stuff in there, but if you take a look at all the extra burr comb because of the space that was between the Miller top feeder and this. Now I can use that as wax, so I'm actually going to tip it and see what the bees do while I'm checking the hive. And I'm going to take a picture really quick. Now the bees are really calm right now, which I'm loving. There's not nearly as much going on up top as I was hoping, so I might have to take the top feeder off. But there are bees up in here. Now because I took the lid off, they may have moved down. So let me check. I was gone for 2 weeks and was hoping that things would be okay. The hive has been pretty active the last couple of days, so I assumed that they were doing okay in here. I'm going to start in the middle because they usually start filling out frames in the middle. It does not appear that they have really filled too much out. And they actually have, oop, that was a bunch of honey that just came dripping off the bottom. When I pulled it, they have created burr comb between the top hive and the bottom. Now, I'm not too concerned about this hive, considering when I look down right now, the amount of bees that I see underneath. And if I pull out another of these, again, like I've mentioned before, trying not to upset or harm any bees, because if I do crunch a bee, it releases a pheromone. And there again, honey dripping, burr comb. They're not building out quite like I had wanted to. It's probably because I didn't have enough wax. It looks like they've actually stripped the wax off of my honeycomb that I had. I had coated each of those, and they have actually moved the wax that was on the honeycomb. And we'll take a look deep down inside. You can see what they've done with all this burr comb. So it does look like a pretty full hive, and they are very calm. Very, very calm. So I really don't want to upset any of them too much. Alright, I'm going to pause the video here and try and dig a little deeper. Okay, so I did find some honey inside, and I took some pictures, and I've closed up the cover since. But one really interesting thing that happened while I was looking inside, I found that I heard these droppings and these crackings. And if you look inside the Miller top feeder here, I don't know, it looks almost like rock candy. It is where the sugar dehydrated, and then when I tipped it, it actually had a little bit of sugar syrup in there, and it actually slid and cracked. And now the bees are going nuts for it. But I'm about to fill it up and close it up. And I will try and post some pictures if I can on my YouTube channel, or make a little video of the photos that I took. All right, thanks for watching. I know that I have some kids watching in all sorts of different states, so all my friends here in North Carolina and their kids, hello. All my friends in New York and their kids, hello. My friends in Virginia, hello. Colorado and Texas. It's so exciting that everybody's been watching, so hello everyone. I hope you're enjoying these, and sorry it's been 2 weeks. So long. Bye-bye.